Hello there, welcome back. And pretty much right now we're gonna sort of do two things. We're gonna go over the playoff games that's sort of right now in the dust. All the games happened yesterday, and then we're gonna preview all the games that are happening this Wednesday. Those are the next round, and then we have the semis that Saturday, and then the final Saturday, the next Saturday after next Saturday. No, it's a week. It's next Saturday, and then the following Saturday is championship, and we'll see how that goes. Although we should get into the games actually, there was a few upsets, and we have quite a few results to actually go through. I need to get the box scores pulled up, and there was a lot of interesting stuff actually that happened. Okay, we have all the games. So just to get into the results, we're gonna take one by one, and we're gonna go each one. First game, Western Illinois versus USC. Western Illinois, they got it done 71-67. Southern Illinois came back against Wisconsin. They were down 15 with 5 minutes to go. They came up to win 73-70. Buffalo, same boat, came back. They were down by 19 with 7 minutes to go even. And they pulled it off 81-79 with a last second throw. I think there might be some highlights, some shorts of a finish of that game actually. That finish was crazy. Nebraska got it done against Villanova 67-59. Ball State took pretty much beat Tulane 85-78. Northwestern destroyed Princeton. When I saw the result, when I saw it was at half and their Northwestern was up by 12. That was kind of sad, but Northwestern they pummeled Princeton. Charlotte versus Purdue. Charlotte pulled it off actually. And then Michigan versus Illinois State. Michigan got it off. So let's just go one by the results. So when it comes to Western Illinois versus USC, I mean I can't really say much. When it came to just again Greg David, perfect game again. Although Ray Rivez he dropped like 4 different one-handed catches, which definitely could have made the game for USC, which definitely hurt them big time. Meanwhile, R.J. Robertson from Western Illinois, he got it done, as well as Devin Phillips, both got it done. Only combined for one-handed catches, 6 for 8, so that's kind of good. And overall, for R.J. Robertson, 7 for 11. Overall, for both teams, Western Illinois threw 68.8% and 64.4% for USC. I think USC was pretty much favored to win that, although a few costly drops really could change the result of the game. So I'm going to go back to the schedule, and we're going to dig into Southern Illinois versus Wisconsin. That was a game and a half. Down 15, 5 minutes to go, and they pretty much closed on a huge run. And they pretty much outscored in the last 5 minutes Wisconsin like 18-0. It was kind of really bad. Wisconsin, they were throwing for 80%, and they finished throwing 72.9. Meanwhile, for Southern Illinois, 76%. No one really had a fantastic game, although except for Tompkins. Tompkins definitely played in the game. Throwing 6 for 6 one-handed catches, didn't drop or had a terrible throw. 9 for 12 overall. He basically carried the team through that. Although, yeah, they had a few role players, Zante Dvergic and Christopher Brown, both playing pretty well. But again, Finley, Hamilton had a good game. Finland, time had one down, but Mayfield dropping 4 perfect throws. They dropped out 4 of them, and that again Wisconsin, they deserve to be there, but they didn't deserve to win with all those drops. And I can't believe it myself. So, go to the next game. Gonzaga versus Buffalo. I can't believe the last 7 minutes, Buffalo outscored them 25-4. Overall, Buffalo threw for 77.6%. Meanwhile, Gonzaga was throwing 74.5. Jeremy Thomas, decent game. Was 10 for 17 on throws. Really, I mean, it could have been better. But Buffalo, again, they had Kyle Rayford. Kyle Rayford went off. 12 for 16 overall, 5 for 6 on one-handed throws, one-handed catches. That was kind of insane. Only dropped 1. That's kind of crazy. And they pulled it off. That was as well. Rayford gained the game winner. With 2 seconds to go, Gonzaga tried to get the game winner, but they couldn't get out. They couldn't get Alex Gadavel pretty much out. So in time before time expired. So just move on to the next game. I split into 2 videos actually. Let's see. Okay. So the next game is Nebraska versus Villanova. Nebraska, they dominated. It was a good effort by Villanova, shooting, throwing 60.2%, 68.4% for Nebraska. But Nebraska, they had 2. Najaric Nokwo, he's proven why he is pretty much MVP caliber. At the Pro League, and Quentin Floyd, both of them went off. 10 for 15 for Floyd, and Jared 11 for 17 overall. Both splitting 50 points out of the 67 Nebraska had. The Villanova gave it their best shot, but in the second half, Nebraska really just outplayed them. Ball State versus Tulane. This one was an interesting one. It was close all the way to the finish. For Ball State to win by 7. Again, Tulane had like 5 different good players. That pretty much had all the points. Again, you have Forte, 11 for 15 overall. Kevin Payne, he had an off game, 6 for 16. I'm surprised they even kept him in because he was playing really bad. 4 for 11, and there was like 5 drops. That was unacceptable. That Ellis had a decent game, 3 for 3, 2 for 3 for Barrios. Connor Ball, again, he had another off game. Well, Ball State, they just balled. Pepe Ponnet, he went crazy, 5 for 8, 12 for 19 overall. He had a total of 31 total, and pretty much second place for them. For 53, Rico Williams, 8 for 11, and 5 for 6, 3-point. Rico Williams is... So, let's move on to the next game. Ball State got it done. And then Northwestern, they had the game so far of their season, I'd argue, destroying Princeton 92-63. Northwestern threw for 90.2%. 90.2. Wow, Princeton 60.6. I don't even have to talk about this. Like 12 for 17. Duran, one of the front runners for Player of the Year. 5 for 9 3. 9 for 11 overall for Irvin Johnson. And then Leacock, insane game. 7 for 7, 1 for, and only threw one hand catch. Only caught 1, but 1 for 1 though. That was a tremendous game for Northwestern. They're going to be a big threat coming down the stretch if they have a game just like that. They're winning every single game. Next game, Purdue versus Charlotte. Purdue pretty much just got outplayed. They were down in most of the entire game except for 3 instances where they managed to tie it, but they couldn't capitalize to get the lead. 80.4, throwing for Charlotte, 72.7% with Purdue. Charlotte, basically one of those old days, one of those type of games. Philip Blaise, amazing game. 11 for 13 field goal, 4 for 6 with the one-hand catches. 9 for 17 for Don. He had an off game though. 5 for 7 with one-hand catches though. Combined for 50 points. Definitely involved more of the backups. 18 points from Brinkley. 4 for 4 overall for him. He had a good game. I think he's going to be pretty much. And then Brady Reese, pretty much for Purdue, pretty much carried the squad. The leading scorer in the country. 13 for 23 overall, 7 for 14 on one-hand catches. He had an off game, but realistically, I mean, it could have been a lot better. And just Brain Reese is declared for the draft, and he's still projected to be a number one overall pick. So good for him. We'll see who he goes to though. Okay. So the final game, Michigan versus Illinois State. This is actually Illinois State was leading for most of the game up until the last 5 minutes. Farrow, amazing game again. He could have played better, but he's played tremendously. He definitely overperformed. Ernest Farrow, 9 for 16, 4 for 8 on the one-hand catches, but other than that, that's they're dumb as well. Justin Jones, 7 for 8 overall, 3 for 4 with the one-hand catches. Michigan, they pretty much had the entire roster, and Craig Dewey, Jim Brown, Mason Fardo, and Selvin Richer, all 6 for 8, 3 for 5, 2 for 4, 4 for 7, and with combined with around 60 points, which is pretty much the vast majority. Pretty close. Michigan State threw for 79.8%, 75.9% for Illinois State. So now we're gonna dig into the matchups now. Coming into this, Southern Illinois versus Western Illinois. Southern Illinois is favored -1. Nebraska versus Buffalo. Nebraska is favored by -6.5. Northwestern versus Ball State. Ball State's favored by -9. Charlotte versus Michigan. Charlotte's favored by -7. So we're gonna go through every single game now. So when it comes to Southern Illinois and Western Illinois, I don't know how this game's gonna really turn out. I think Western Illinois is the 1 seed. Southern Illinois is coming off of a massive win, a huge win they needed against the third most talented team, Wisconsin. And now they're going on to play the number 1 seed, which usually it's a Ball State or Charlotte, but this year actually they aren't. They're playing Charlotte. They're playing Western Illinois, which I think is manageable. It's in-state rivalry game. Lies on the line. Yeah, it's expected to be a close one. When it comes to talent, they're both pretty close together, and I think Southern Illinois, they proved themselves. But Western Illinois, I think you could probably go for that pick, but I'm going to go Southern Illinois myself. Nebraska versus Buffalo. Buffalo coming off a big comeback win against Gonzaga, but they have a much tougher opponent, Nebraska. Nebraska, one of those teams, they haven't been to the championship in how long, and they've been pretty much consistently in the top 10 year after year now, for the past 20 years now. They need to get something going here. And it's getting close to that time because now Coach, it's getting old, and he's probably retired within the next 2-3 seasons. It looks like right now. So they're gonna have to get something going, but they're favored by a lot. Nebraska is pretty much outmatching Buffalo in terms of talent by a large margin. I think they have it in the bag. I'm gonna go Nebraska. Northwestern versus Ball State. Northwestern coming off of a game of their life, and they have to do it again against Ball State. Ball State favored by -9. One of the higher actually point spreads seen in the playoffs. I think the highest though Ball State was favored just a few seasons ago. I think I was back in 2019. They were playing the first round, the 16th seed. Oh shoot, the 16th seed. I know it was some Cinderella. I think it was like TCU. TCU got in by a miracle, and they're favored by -16. I'm gonna go Ball State to win this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they cover too. And then Michigan versus Charlotte. This was a tough one too. Charlotte outmatches Michigan by a ton. Michigan's the least talented team still left in the playoffs, with Buffalo actually right behind them. And it's more outmatched than Nebraska and Buffalo. It's way outmatched. Charlotte, again, coming in hot. They're going to have a really big... This is the season again. Their lowest seed, actually, in a long time. So, it could be better. So, anyways, I think I'm going to go Charlotte to win. I wouldn't be surprised if they cover. So, yeah, I think that's it, though. Again, all the games are on Wednesday, so don't miss out on any. But apart from that, that's really it. And goodbye.